Michael is in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Michael, you're on the Larry Elder Show. Thank you so much for calling.
Hey, Larry, thanks for taking my call. Long-time listener, first-time caller. And I've not heard yet that clip of our current president that's concerning. But, Larry, the reason I'm calling today is because they say the election was purportedly stolen, all the subterfuge and everything. And if that's true, how do we take it back? If everything's broken and we can't actually vote, how do we take back our government, Larry? No one's talking about that, and
it's the big question. It's what we all ought to be thinking about. It all ought to be talking about. First of all, Michael, the election was closer than what the media is telling everybody. This man lost his election by 43,000 votes in 3 states. That's how close it was. Second thing, we have to do a better job of convincing the other side how wrong the policies are of the left. They've destroyed the family, destroyed jobs with things like minimum wages, inducing people to divert their energies by jacking up taxes on productive people. We need to make the better argument. The fact that the majority of people, including the majority of Republicans, Michael, believe in a minimum wage blows my mind. We can't even convince Republicans how stupid that is. How are we going to convince Democrats? We need to make better arguments, because I don't believe people are stupid, Michael. I believe that the captain on the Titanic, had he known about the iceberg, would have taken evasive action. We need to take evasive action, and we need to make better arguments to our friends on the left.
100%. I agree with you, Larry. Minimum wage, like you just said alone, it's insane.
And Michael, I give in speeches. I think I've told you this before. I gave a speech once, and often when I give a speech, the audience is predominantly white. Even though there's no entry fee, there's no secret handshake, there's no password, anybody can come. But a lot of the times when I'm speaking, the people there are white. So I'm giving a speech, and there's a man standing in the back, a large black man. He's got his arms folded, Michael. He's got a frown on his face. I don't think he was part of the security detail. He looked unhappy with the crap I was saying. So I give my speech. The man comes up to me, and he says, "Larry, I got to tell you, I am angry." And I thought he was going to say, you said this, you undermined black people, you did this. He said, "I had no idea that there were more unarmed whites killed every year than unarmed blacks. I had no idea that young black teenagers were more likely to get a job than a white teenager before the minimum wage kicked in. I had no idea." And he rattled off all the kinds of things that I said. He had no idea that the black family, the out-of-wedlock birth rate had tripled from 1965. No idea. He said, "I am angry at myself for being so foolish, for listening to left-wing sources, for not broadening my base, for not knowing more. I'm angry at myself," he told me. Now, if I can do that with that guy, we can do that with the whole country if we make good arguments.
Roger that.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. All we can do is make arguments. I mean, honestly, is it or is it not the case that when you jack up the minimum wage, you destroy jobs? When Acorn comes to California, as I think I said this yesterday or the day before, Acorn come to California in the 1990s, and they want to hire people to gather signatures to put a petition on the ballot out here. Now, most of the time when people want to put a petition on the ballot, it fails because they don't have the money to hire enough workers to get enough signatures to put it on the ballot. So Acorn comes here, and they file a motion with the courts, I am not making this up, to exempt itself from the current minimum wage law on the books, a law that they want to jack up. And in their briefs at the court, Acorn said, quote, "The more Acorn must pay outreach workers in minimum wage or overtime, the fewer outreach workers Acorn can hire," end of quote. I kid you not. I don't know what to say. When Jonathan Gruber tells you to your face, we took advantage of the stupidity of the American people, I don't know what to tell you. When Jonathan Gruber tells you to your face, the only reason we were able to make Romney Care work is because some very smart people figured out a way of ripping off the government to the tune of $400 million to make the thing work, end of quote. He's telling you it doesn't work. He's telling you the only reason it, quote, worked is because taxpayers in the other 49 states were ripped off to make the Romney Care program in Massachusetts, quote, work, close quote. I don't know what to tell you. Teachers don't send their own kids to public schools. I don't know what to tell you.